Welcome dear students. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic, that is energy crisis and need for green energy. Energy is required for several practical functions, including transportation, mobility, food preparation, water purification, and communication. Global population and economic expansion have contributed to increased energy use over the time. The efficiency of energy and use services has gradually improved due to technological advancements and energy efficiency legislation. Nevertheless, this improvement has not always been adequate to offset the increase in demand for energy services, such as the production and consumption of commodities. In addition, the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine has caused an energy crisis that has directly affected the heating, cooling, and transportation energy costs of households. In 2021, the European Union imported over 45% of its gas and nearly 40% of its total gas consumption. Indirectly, this crisis has increased the prices of additional goods and services across global supply chains. In addition to the current energy crisis, the predominant source of carbon dioxide emissions, the primary greenhouse gas responsible for global warming, is the widespread use of fossil fuels to produce energy. Therefore, scholars and decision makers generally agree that carbon neutrality by the middle of the century and other climate targets outlined in the Paris Agreement can only be achieved by gradually reducing global energy demands to a sustainable level as well as using negative emission technologies. Energy savings from energy efficiency and conservation offer additional co-benefits and contribute to national energy supply security and climate change mitigation. These include reducing local pollution, enhancing business competitiveness, lowering household energy costs, boosting productivity, enhancing occupant health in buildings, and helping to lower energy poverty. A change in the behavior and way of life of energy end users is required to achieve additional energy savings by reducing the need for services, which goes beyond investments in energy efficiency technologies, given the stringency and urgency of the climate target and the current global increase in energy demand. Energy performance criteria for vehicles, appliances, buildings, and financial incentives for new technology and others have historically been the primary targets and promoters of energy efficiency innovations. Therefore, we shall examine the current and potential policy instruments to promote energy sufficiency and conservation, including progressive home appliances, buildings, and vehicle standards. We shall also examine the energy crisis and explore the potential of renewable energy sources to address it. It focuses on how energy can be saved in buildings and vehicles, including the use of electric and hydrogen-powered vehicles. In addition, the role of artificial intelligence in assisting energy-saving initiatives in various industries. Now let us talk about the current status of energy crisis. Energy is one of the most crucial aspects of modern society, powering economies, transportation, and daily life. Over the years, the world has relied on various energy sources, including coal, oil, natural gas, and renewable sources like wind, solar, and hydroelectricity. However, as the global population continues to grow, energy demand has increased, leading to an energy crisis that has far-reaching impacts on the environment, economy, and society. In addition, the Russian and Ukraine war in early 2022 abruptly ended the recovery in global energy consumption after the pandemic caused decline in 2020. This war also stoked inflationary pressures and slowed the economic growth. This has caused energy prices to fluctuate and spike sharply, especially for natural gas in European markets, and the threat of further supply disruption looms large. Renewable energy growth has done well despite this unrest. As a result of the crisis, many nations have had to re-evaluate their needs for energy security. The energy trade and investment landscape are being profoundly recast due to this. It has already sparked several actions to enhance energy security, such as funding for developing domestic manufacturing capacity in essential industries. One important open question is whether the current crisis will speed up energy transitions or whether a confluence of unstable economic conditions and hurried policy decisions will cause momentum to slacken. Record high fossil fuel prices and rising emissions provide compelling arguments for reducing or eliminating our reliance on these fuels. The European Union is confronted with an additional challenge in this unsettling situation. This challenge is the potential disruption of natural gas imports from Russia. As a result of this disruption, the security and affordability of the bloc's energy supply are seriously threatened, causing member states to make plans for a sharp decline in gas demand. The prices of many fossil fuels fell to their lowest levels in decades due to the historic decline in global energy consumption in the early months of the COVID-19 crisis in 2020. The price rebounds, however, have been incredibly swift since mid-2021. After briefly falling in 2020, oil prices have since rebounded to around or above $100 per barrel. The cost of coal has risen to record levels. On an energy equivalent basis, spot natural gas prices in Europe have routinely exceeded $50 per million British thermal units, more than twice the price of crude oil. Due to the tight gas and coal markets, electricity prices have been unusually high in many markets. The global energy crisis has had a negative impact on individuals, businesses, and entire economies around the world. Now, let us talk about the energy crisis, including its economic, political, and environmental factors that significantly impact the society. One of the most visible impacts is the high energy cost affecting both developed and developing countries, which has a ripple effect on the economy. For instance, transportation costs have risen due to high fuel prices, leading to higher prices of goods and services. This in turn leads to inflation and reduced purchasing power for consumers, thus impacting the economy negatively. Moreover, energy is critical in various industries, including manufacturing, agriculture, and construction. Therefore, the energy cost directly impacts production, reducing business profit margins. This in turn can lead to reduced investment, lower the growth, and higher unemployment rates. The energy crisis has had far-reaching impacts on the environment. Where over-reliance on fossil fuels, which are finite resources, has led to increased greenhouse gas emissions, contributing to climate change. The combustion of fossil fuel releases carbon dioxide, methane, and other greenhouse gases, trapping heat in the atmosphere and leading to global warming. Moreover, the extraction and transportation of fossil fuels has also led to environmental degradation. For instance, oil spills have destroyed marine life and ecosystems, while coal mining has resulted in soil erosion, deforestation, and air pollution. The environmental impact of energy crisis is not limited to fossil fuels, but also extends to renewable energy sources. The construction of wind turbines and solar panels can lead to habitat destruction, soil erosion, and pollution, impacting the environment negatively. The energy crisis has had significant social impacts, particularly in developing countries. The lack of access to energy, particularly electricity, has reduced many people's quality of life. For instance, lack of electricity limits access to modern healthcare, education, and communication, hindering social and economic development. Moreover, the energy crisis has also led to social inequality, with marginalized communities often having limited access to energy resources. In some developing countries, people rely on biomass such as wood and charcoal for cooking and heating, leading to deforestation and health issues. The energy crisis has also led to the displacement of communities, particularly in areas with high energy demand. For instance, the construction of hydroelectric dams has led to the displacement of indigenous communities in many parts of the world. In Africa, people living without electricity increased by more than 15 million between 2019 and 2021, reversing almost all the gains made over the previous years. Dear students, now let us talk about green solutions. Several green alternative solutions are available for oil or natural gas based home heating systems that can help reduce carbon emissions and improve energy sustainability. Air and ground source heat pumps are more efficient and sustainable than traditional heating systems. At the same time, biomass boilers burn wood pellets, chips, or logs to provide heat, which can be a sustainable alternative to fossil fuels. However, they require regular maintenance and a longer storage space for energy. In addition, solar thermal panels use energy for the sun to heat water or air for space heating, which can be a renewable and sustainable alternative to traditional heating systems. Infrared heating panels use infrared radiation to heat objects in the room, providing more targeted and efficient heating with little maintenance. Geothermal heating, which uses the Earth's natural heat to provide heating and cooling, is also a sustainable and efficient alternative to traditional heating systems. Consultation with a professional is recommended to determine the most suitable green heating solution based on the location, climate, size of the home, and available renewable energy sources. Now let's talk about biomass boilers and stoves. Burning biomass instead of oil and gas in boilers has successfully combated the greenhouse effect and is considered the most feasible energy option for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Central heating systems such as stoves and boilers can utilize a forced air or hydronic distribution system with radiant or convective heat emitters to generate heat in one location and distribute it throughout a home. Popular biomass fuels for boilers include pellet straw, energy crops, herbaceous fuels, or a mixture of these. Additionally, pellet fuels with larger surface areas are more easily burned. Biomass boilers have the potential to promote energy independence, lower heating costs, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The simplicity of operation and reduced power needs for hot water heating were key advantages, as it was found that replacing traditional fossil fuel and natural gas boilers with biomass boilers reduce carbon dioxide emissions. In addition to being a low carbon heating technology, wood pellet heating can be more cost effective for those with limited budgets. They can be purchased in small quantities, easing the burden on those with limited incomes. Biomass-based low-carbon heating system can significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions from residential buildings as biomass is essentially carbon neutral, resulting in a low carbon footprint. In a heating system that uses a mixture of 20% straw and 80% coal, increasing the proportion of straw in the mixture reduces nitrous oxide and sulfur dioxide emissions, demonstrating the carbon reduction effects of biomass. Thus, biomass boiler heating can be an effective means of reducing greenhouse gas emissions while having the potential to cause pollution from other gases. The combustion efficiency of biomass wood can be further enhanced by compressing it into pellets under high pressure and temperature. Now let us talk about hybrid heat pumps. Heat pump systems which extract heat from the air, water or earth for space and water heating require electricity to operate. Heat pump technology can significantly outperform traditional boiler-based household space heating methods. In fact, advancements in heat pump technology and renewable energy sources could substantially reduce greenhouse gas emissions in the residential sector. The benefits of heat pumps can be enhanced if the electricity used to run them has low or no carbon emissions. It has been found that hybrid heat pump water heaters can reduce hot water usage by 50 to 70% compared to natural gas water heaters, resulting in deep decarbonization and offering multiple benefits for decarbonizing home heating. Similarly, research on photovoltaic heat pumps which generate electricity and hot water for households in the UK region reduced annual electricity consumption by 60% and lowering the overall cost compared to traditional heating systems. Moreover, this approach reduces carbon dioxide emissions by 910 kg per year per household. Increasing the number of photovoltaic panels from 12 to 24 in an intermittent photovoltaic heat pump can further reduce annual carbon emissions by 700 kg per year, making it a practical and sustainable greenhouse gas reduction solution for the UK. The hybrid heat pump systems offer significant improvements in heating efficiency. A hybrid photovoltaic heat pump system can increase total power generation by 3.5% with a 6.5% increase in photovoltaic panel power, in a 100-fold increase in heating water capacity and improved overall heating performance. The heat pump can adjust the proportion of different energy operations based on weather conditions to ensure that it can still output more heat energy during extreme weather conditions. The hybrid heat pumps present a more effective solution for home heating, creating an opportunity to achieve substantial decarbonization and cost savings within the building industry. By incorporating renewable energy sources, hybrid heat pumps can minimize carbon dioxide emissions and improve the efficiency of traditional heat pumps for heating purposes, reducing energy consumption. This decrease in energy consumption subsequently leads to reduced combustion costs, highlighting the economic feasibility of hybrid heat pumps. However, the drawbacks of low capacity, high installation and maintenance expenses, and significant cooling requirements must also be considered. Now let us talk about geothermal heating. Geothermal energy is a dependable, robust and sustainable energy source generated by the Earth's internal heat. It allows users to heat their homes autonomously without relying on conventional energy providers. Geothermal energy systems can be categorized into three primary groups: direct use and district heating system, power production, and geothermal heat pumps. Additionally, geothermal systems can provide active and free cooling to fulfill cooling requirements. Furthermore, economies of scale can be achieved with larger geothermal installations in the network, resulting in higher efficiency and lower unit energy costs for geothermal heating and cooling. Combining geothermal energy with waste incineration and natural gas boilers, replacing 50% of the natural gas consumption, results in a significant decrease of 60% in greenhouse gas emissions. The low environmental impact of geothermal energy further increases the installed capacity. It improves the efficiency of heat production, making it a desirable low-carbon option for the building industry in Geneva. Additionally, incorporating renewable energy in the heating system can improve the carbon reduction performance of geothermal energy, as seen in the case of photovoltaic geothermal heating. The combination of renewable energy in the heating system can further enhance the geothermal carbon reduction performance. Geothermal systems could replace conventional heating and cooling systems, resulting in a 27% reduction in natural gas and electricity heating energy consumption. The high performance and efficiency of geothermal systems lead to significant energy savings and attract customer investment. The geothermal heating in Massachusetts buildings results in cost saving of 60%, supporting the development of a green economy. It has been found that geothermal heating had significantly sustainable economic advantages in all environmental impact categories, while conventional heating systems incurred higher indirect costs. Moreover, geothermal heating systems have up to 50 years of life, offering long-term reliability and durability. Geothermal heating has been identified as an economically and environmentally advantageous method of heating homes. However, the initial investment required for geothermal heat pumps is higher than that of conventional systems, which can impede their development. High installation costs, infrastructure requirements, and system designs limit the adoption of geothermal systems. The evolutionary algorithms can be utilized to optimize the length, number, and radius of wells, external pipes, and in-pipe flow rates, resulting in improved thermal performance and reduced starting costs. Now let us talk about solar photovoltaic systems. Electric boilers are cost effective for low cost electricity. An electric boiler connected to a solar system through an alternating current is called a photovoltaic assisted electric boiler. To ensure optimal performance, the electric boiler is sized to match the photovoltaic system's peak alternating current power output. Combining photovoltaic hydrogen and wind energy could generate electricity for combustion cell heating, with excess electricity fed into an electric boiler. This approach has resulted in a 4.5% increase in renewable energy share and a 48% reduction in carbon emissions. Integrating solar cogeneration with electric boilers can reduce the waste of excess thermal energy generated by photovoltaics by channeling it to electric boilers for conversion into thermal energy. Electric boilers offers a way to use excess electricity to meet thermal loads, while photovoltaics provide a renewable energy source for significant carbon and cost savings. Large photovoltaic systems can make the design of buildings with electric boilers more cost effective. Using an electric boiler in a renewable power system that includes photovoltaics leads to a 29% reduction in annualized costs and a 7% reduction in energy costs, as well as significant decrease in annual carbon dioxide emission equivalent to 21,990 kgs per year. Now students, let us talk about solar thermal heating. Solar heating is a promising option for low energy homes, as renewable solar energy systems can provide various necessities such as power, hot water, space heating, and even cooling. The underlying principles behind solar systems, particularly solar heaters, are simple yet effective. These include converting the sun's electromagnetic photons into thermal energy and transmitting it to water for use in homes or industrial activities. Solar heating offers several benefits, including lower fuel consumption, reduced pollution, and minimal maintenance requirements. Solar heating has been found to have a higher impact on carbon saving during summer, that is 86.8%, due to higher solar ratio. In contrast, the efficiency of solar heating systems is positively correlated with temperature, although the collector effect is lower in winter. Installing solar thermal energy systems can significantly reduce carbon emissions and contribute to a low carbon economy. Solar thermal integration can reduce the overall use of biomass and thus decrease dependence on this highly demanded energy source in future. In temperate areas, utilizing solar thermal energy as part of a heating system for homes results in a 25% reduction in electrical energy consumption and increased thermal comfort. Combining solar thermal with other renewable technologies can further improve performance, as demonstrated by the integration of solar heating systems with air heating exchangers, which effectively reduce carbon emissions and energy demand during the heating. Now let us talk about compressed natural gas and methane. Methane, the primary component of natural gas, has a low carbon to hydrogen ratio, resulting in lower emissions of carbon and particulates. Compressed natural gas is created by compressing regular natural gas to less than 1% of its volume at normal atmospheric pressure and has a high heat of combustion of 47.5 million joules per kg. It is held in a rigid container at 290 lakh psi. Biogas can be concentrated to the same level as natural gas by biogas upgrading and distributed through home pipe systems. It can be used for combined heat and power generation, home cooking, and heating. Compressing landfill gas by cooling and compressing the biogas or landfill gas with water to produce a mixture of natural gas hydrate is transported for further processing. Biomethane can also be compressed to the necessary pressure and injected into the natural gas pipeline network. Natural gas with a high octane rating possesses desirable characteristics such as clean combustion, high calorific value, and abundant reserves. It also has a high hydrogen to carbon ratio and broad combustion limits. Therefore, the compression and utilization of landfill gas are highly competitive with methane alone. Compared to gasoline, compressed natural gas emits 10 to 13% less carbon dioxide and 15 to 30% less carbon monoxide, while having approximately 25% lower combustion level than gasoline, which enhances fuel combustion performance. Using compressed natural gas to supplement diesel has the potential to reduce nitrogen oxide and particulate matter emissions while improving fuel efficiency. By adding compressed natural gas, conventional fuel combustion power can be increased. For instance, adding 56% compressed natural gas to diesel fuel can increase the maximum power rating by 30%. Methane from biomass sources can meet all or part of compressed natural gas demand, fueling internal combustion engines at higher compression ratios to pursue higher efficiencies. Furthermore, compressing gas streams rich in methane to 70 bar for transportation via pipelines can recover up to 86.4% of the carbon in biomass in the form of methane. Therefore, compressed natural gas can be utilized in generators that use conventional fuels, offering both economic advantages in terms of fuel savings and environmental advantages in terms of carbon savings. However, the combustion of compressed natural gas may lead to incomplete combustion due to slow combustion rates, resulting in the emission of unused methane into the atmosphere, which could potentially cause a 20-fold increase in global warming potential. In summary, using compressed natural gas and methane improves fuel combustion efficiency, making it economically viable while reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting cleaner energy. Thus, various alternative energy solutions to replace oil and natural gas heating, including biomass boilers and stoves, hybrid heat pumps, geothermal heating, solar photovoltaic systems integrated with electric boilers, solar thermal heating, and compressed natural gas and methane, and effectively enhance the energy efficiency, cut costs, and reduce carbon dioxide emission. Dear students, that's all with today's lecture on energy crisis. Hope you have understood it well. I will see you next time with a different lecture. Until then, goodbye.